As the founders of Surefoot, Bob and Russ Shea are obsessed with creating the perfect ski boot for you because they know that a properly fitted custom ski boot will make you a better skier, whatever level you're at. Surefoot, better fitting, better skiing.
Okay, Derek, how's it going, bud?
Oh, good. We're ramping up here in Val Thorens. Yeah, lots of moving parts as always, but we're I think we're on the upswing here towards a comp tomorrow.
Right on. Well, this is our first update, breaking news, emergency pod, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't really say emergency, but this is our first unscheduled podcast. I am sitting in the stairwell at the apartment that I'm living at right now at 11 p.m. at night, and it's early in the morning for you before a big day, I'm sure. Day before the comp, that's correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so lots to do. We got to test the satellite, make sure our installation is all good. The riders are going to be basically waiting for the weather to clear out so they can go and do their final face checks, see what the new snow has done to the venue, because it's been dumping. The weather has
Really?
been, yeah, complicated, I guess is the best way I could describe it. It was clear. It snowed quite a bit 2 days ago. Yesterday it was raining. And then the temperature gradually came down and down, but it kept snowing, and it looks out the window like it snowed about 20 centimeters overnight. Kind of actually classic Whistler. It starts out wet and then it dries out, but it keeps snowing. So the ideal right now is that we've got a nice kind of firm base of new snow where the rain kind of gradually turned to snow, and then 15 to 20 of pow on top of that. So we're going to find out. I mean, I haven't even been outside yet because it's early in the morning. This is pre-breakfast. But we're like all fingers and toes are crossed that this weather has put a nice coat on this new pace.
That's exciting to me because we're going to potentially, hopefully, get a Freeride World Tour with some PAL conditions, which is only going to make the competition that much more spectacular. And the comp has officially been announced for Wednesday, the 29th, which will be morning in Europe, about 8:30, I think, if I'm not mistaken, which is about 12:30 Pacific time and 1:30 Mountain time. So looks like I'll be up till 5 in the morning again, but I don't mind. As long as there's a PAL competition, does it look like the sun's going to be out for that time?
Yes. The forecast, like I said, the weather's been
Question
really
mark.
complicated. Yeah, I mean, the forecaster that we've got working for the Freeride World Tour is looking at a ton of different weather models, trying to lock in on the right day, to make this thing give it the best chance of working. So they're doing a weather call with this person at 9 a.m. every day and at 6 p.m. every day because it's so variable, it's so evolving and fluid, the weather right now. So as of last night, there was going to be a block of clear weather from 6 a.m. to about 1 p.m. on Wednesday. So that's the one we're aiming for right now. Now, God knows the weather call this morning, it might be totally different. I hope it isn't. But yeah, that's what we're shooting for right now.
And they're usually pretty good with this. We've had this conversation many times, and it's shocking how accurate they are.
Yeah, they're good at what they do for sure. And it's not like us looking at snow forecasts or whatever. Like they've got so much data to sift through and figure out, and then some of them are almost contradictory to each other. So I really don't envy the person who's in that position because the whole thing hinges on basically them giving a green light for any given day. So
Right.
yeah, right now green light for Wednesday. I'm looking outside and it's absolutely dumping.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty optimistic right now.
Fantastic. So let's get a couple little things. This is an update pod. We've updated Val Thorens, but they've changed the face. It was Sim Caron. When I was asking, is that the right way to pronounce it? I asked you in the last one.
Sim Caron, yeah.
And it's now where?
It is Lac Noir, the Black Lake. And it's just down the valley a little bit. It's still in this Val Thorens or Trois Vallées complex in a place called Minuet. So it's a little bit lower in elevation. than the Sim Caron. The Sim Caron was super high. It was like 3,200 meters. I guess that's somewhere in the neighborhood of almost 10,000 feet for our Fahrenheit friends or imperial
Fair, yeah,
friends.
I get you. We should
Um,
just call them
yeah.
that, the Fahrenheit friends.
But yeah, the other one was really high, and it got just completely pumped by the wind for the last couple of days. And
I was seeing the
and
videos; it looked wild.
yeah, yeah. So this Lac Noir, it's a bit lower. It's actually a little bit longer in vertical distance. And I would say like characterized more playful, less gnarly. The Sim Caron is super steep right from the top, like ultra alpine. It's very rocky. It's right at the absolute top of Val Thorens, the top of the Sim Caron gondola or tram. And this one's a little bit lower. It's really steep at the top, and then it's got a few benches, a bunch of rolly terrain, lots of freestyle options. This could definitely be one where the freestylers pop off. Um, but it looks really fun. When I guess 2 days ago now, we had the first face check at that venue, and the riders were fired up. There's
Cool.
definitely a lot to do, and it looks like a good time to ski. So I think if all goes well and things happen as they should, we should be in for a good show.
Nice. I'm excited. I'm really excited. So let's get to a couple of little bits and pieces with some athletes. So Wildcard was announced. Last episode, we were talking about Anna Martinez and Naomi Aki. They're both on the podium last week. We were talking about their, I guess, mentor, for lack of a better term, Marion Erti, and how I thought it would be awesome to see her battle them. Well, I didn't have to wait long. Because
You got your wish.
Marion got announced as the wild card, which makes sense because this is the first event back in France in like 7 years.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's been
and
ages.
and Marion is a French rider, so it just makes sense. So now we actually get to see her battle her proteges.
Yeah, I think that's going to be so cool. I mean, Marianne is just going from strength to strength. 4-time Freeride World Tour champ. She won the overall natural selection tour last year. She's kind of on fire, and she's been bringing these young women up with her, helping them out, giving them guidance, and now she's going to step into the start gate and go head to head with them. So it's pretty exciting. And uh, I don't know, like it'd be great to get a view into the minds of those three women to see like how they're feeling and how those two, and Noemi and Anna are feeling about going up against their
Hero.
the person who's, yeah, exactly, that the perfect word for it.
Because
And
they're
for
like in their early 20s, right?
Yeah, they're young.
So
They're
they were
they're
like
young and
14, 13, 14, 15, 16, probably around that zone, like middle teenagers, just really getting into snowboarding, just learning how to do it, watching her win every year. Like,
hmm yeah, and now
cool.
they're stepping into the start gate to face off against her. So it's pretty sick.
I know
And
how I
for But sorry,
sorry.
and for Marian to have these two that she's kind of, funneled her energy and all her superpowers into, and then now she's got to go against them. So it's very cool. I think it's going to be pretty exciting to see it all shake out.
Marianne is just such a lovely person, just so friendly and just and nice and just like sunshiny. That's my term for a lot of those people. She's just one of the nicest people. I would love it. I would absolutely love it if she started mean mugging them and just gave them the cold shoulder, like the competition. I know that's not her style, but I think that makes me laugh thinking about it. But that's
Yeah, the
really cool.
Kelly
So
Slater mind
Marion,
games.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, Marion is the official wild card for women's snowboard, and she's gonna be. It'll be a fun battle to watch. Um, so you mentioned natural selection tour. I just want to bring this up as well. We're going to be covering some natural selection ski specifically because we're skiers. We're going to do our best and include some snowboarding stuff for those of you listening. I'm going to try and do my best to get some snowboard knowledge in here and maybe uh, an analyst, so to speak. But for you and I, we're going to be discussing the natural selection ski, which is going to be in April. Um, the reason I'm bringing this up is because we mentioned last episode about Hedvig. As I told you, I'd love to see Hedvig be back in the battle, and Manon. We were wondering what was their deal. Well, they've been announced as riders in the natural selection, so that is one of the reasons why they're probably not on the tour. Maybe not the only reason, but I'm sure part of it.
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty exciting to see them, taking on a new challenge, big Alaskan face. I can't wait to see the terrain that they get into. Listening to Chris Benchetler's kind of interview or discussion about what they wanted out of that. And tone back the gnar a little bit, give it give those skiers a canvas that they can really go to town on with their tricks. So we know that Hedvig and Manon have that, pretty deep in the tool belt. So yeah, it will be pretty sick, I think, to watch that all go down. I can't wait.
I agree. It's a really, really cool lineup, which they're just kind of the lineup is officially released, but they're doing individual athletes, I think, throughout the next couple of weeks. So tune into the Natural Selection Tour and then pay attention because we're going to cover that as well because we're the Freeride guide. Kind of wrapping up. I know you got to get some breakfast. I got a pizza in the oven for those of you listening. Uh, um, the updates, any injury updates. So I've seen Britta Winans. We discussed that she hurt her shoulder, maybe dislocated it. I've seen her cruising around with the crew. I've seen her potentially skiing on some of these social posts. Is she competing?
It looks like yes. She's very much day by day. Yeah, she did dislocate it, but every day she said it's feeling better and better. She's got a really bulky, robust shoulder brace that she said limits her movement a ton, but doesn't really limit the movement she needs for skiing. So she's kind of day by day. I think the longer we go into this window, the better it is for Britta, just in terms of healing and being a little bit more close to 100%. But right now she says yes,
Okay, that's
or
great.
probably.
I had one of those braces that like wraps around your torso and then it's strapped from like four different spots to keep your upper arm from getting above your shoulders. So it's basically forces you into that skier stance, which is good. So that's great to
Yeah,
hear.
so
Any
hopefully.
any other potential injury updates? We've had some maybe a little whiplash from Tom and Ellie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
everybody
they're
seems like
doing
they're good to
well.
go.
Yeah, Tams Marvell unfortunately has gone home. He tore his knee in that crash in Bakira, so
Oh
he's
no.
he's yeah, he's done for the season, which is so
All
sad.
right.
He showed such great potential at the top of the run, and excellent skiing um, at the top of the run in Bakira that he ended up crashing on. So that's pretty tough. And then Nuria Caston-Baron, another one kind of day by day. She was fairly rattled from her crash, so she is here. Um, I think she went riding yesterday. I think she's kind of waiting on again, similar to Britta, to see how far we go in, to see what her recovery looks like, to see how she's feeling on her board. So that one I don't really have any more info, but she is here, so I guess we'll call it a maybe at the moment.
There you go. All right. Well, I'll let you get to it, man. Before we go, quick question. Hadley's on the mic with you again this on Wednesday.
Yep. Hadley's here. Yeah,
That's a
we're all, deep into our prep work right now, so we're gonna wrap all that up today. Um, yeah, looking forward
fantastic.
to another
Has she been listening to the free ride guy to get some of the inside information?
probably. Yeah, you'd be crazy
Uh,
not to.
right. And then quickly, make sure everybody listening is signed up for the fun bet with some of that new information you've got from us now. Hopefully that helps you out. The fun bet, look for the free ride guide fun bet league. Join us. I had a big long call today about getting some different hats, some shirts, some cool merch going. As you can see our hats if you're watching this on YouTube. We're getting some cool merch going, which we'll have for sale soon, but we'll also be giving away a little prize package to the winner of our Fun Bet League. So do that. Just go to Fun Bet League on the Freeride World Tour website and then do that. And then if you want to stick around the rest of this episode, I did a great little chat with Cody Bramwell the other day. He was in one of the little pubs. I think he was in Italy. He was drinking a glass of wine, and we talked about his double that he wasn't intending to do, and a few other little bits and pieces. So stay tuned. That's going to happen right now. And make sure you're following the Free Ride Guide on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube if you're watching, or if you're listening please hit that follow button and give us a good review. We'd really appreciate it. And we're stoked to have you guys here, Freeride family. And so thanks, Derek, for getting up early. And, I love your dedication to Freeride.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Mark. I'll keep you posted on what's going on tomorrow. But hopefully we're running a comp here in Val Thorens, first time in France since I think 2017. So pretty exciting to be back in one of the homes, the ancestral homes of Freeride.
I agree. That's cool, man. I will be having a nap tomorrow evening. Have a big dinner that'll put me to sleep, and then I'll wake up at like 12, and I'll watch till early in the morning. So thanks to you. Thank you to Surefoot, the sponsor of the Freeride Guide for this season, where you can find Surefoot custom orthotics for your boots, but also your shoes. And if you want to improve your boots, Surefoot custom heated liners, quite possibly one of the best things I've ever done in my entire life. So thank you, Surefoot. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Freeride fans. And we'll talk to you soon. Stay tuned for my interview with Cody Bramwell. Hey, what's going on, Cody? Nice to see you, man.
Hey Mark, how you doing?
I am doing quite well. Just sitting in front of the computer, clacking away. Where are you? It looks like you're in a pretty cool spot, like a bar or
Uh,
something.
yeah, exactly. I'm in Italy, so I didn't have any 4G and things. So I'm in a restaurant in Italy at the moment,
Oh, nice.
snaking some Wi-Fi, drinking some vino.
What do you got what's on the ceiling behind you there?
I think it's like a sports bar kind of vibe here.
No skis on the ceiling?
No,
Or is
it's
it just like soccer flags?
sports
Oh, like
banner kind of thing. Yeah,
football banners? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Right on, man. So you're in Italy. Are you on your way to Val Thorens pretty soon here for the stop number 2?
Yeah, we drive there on Saturday. Exactly. Mm.
So you're not going a little early. I know a bunch of people are there now. How come you're not getting there early, considering it's like a new venue and stuff? Have you seen it before?
I haven't seen before, but I know we have. They're not going to run the comp too early, so we have a good couple of days there. So there's not really any stress, at least for me. Like I guess all the Americans went there because they don't really have anywhere to stay. But I'm based up in Italy, so I'm chilling at home for a bit.
Oh, where's home for you right now?
We're in it's called Champalic, like Monte Rosa Mountains area.
Oh, cool. Right
Mm.
on. So you are truly an international man.
Yeah, we're going
So
full international.
So I wanted to chat with you just because I haven't chatted with you for a while, and I figured I'd pick your brain a little bit. I want to give people a little bit of a backstory about you. So you can claim many different homes, maybe 4.
Yeah,
So let me see if I can get this right. You're competing for England.
yeah,
You're Swedish.
yeah.
You spend most of your time living and working in Greece,
Exactly.
and now you've decided to be in Italy.
Yeah, you nailed it. That's
All
exactly right.
right. Can you explain a little bit of that? Put some context into it for me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so my dad's English, and he met my mom in Greece when they're like in their 20s. She's Swedish. So, and he started a water sports business in Greece. But then we went back to Sweden in the winters to do our schooling. So we lived in Sweden in the winters, and then we went to Greece, my dad trying to run the business or whatever, and just went back and forth, yeah, between Sweden and Greece. Yeah.
But you didn't really live in England.
Never lived. I lived in London for a bit when I was in my 18, 19, when I was a bit younger. But I've never properly. My family's from Norwich, Cambridge, but I've never lived there.
Okay. So then may I ask why you compete for England?
Yeah, it was a bit of a tactical move. I didn't know if it was gonna work out, but I just saw there's no one competing or for England or Great Britain or even that many people in the qualifiers and stuff. And I was always thinking maybe freeride can be a bigger thing, maybe Olympics or something, looking into the future or whatever. So I was like, oh, I'll switch to England and make my dad stoked as well. He was frothing, so
And
switched
that's a
over.
smart move too. I think that's a real smart move because it is on that path towards the Olympics at the moment. It looks like it, anyways. I know that's their goal. And being, I guess, that you're currently the only English rider, that could mean good things for you in terms of, budget and funding and stuff like that. Have you had any conversations with like anybody in England that's in the sporting federations, just to connect with them, or do they know who you are even?
Yeah, just like this first year, this year is like had a tiny bit of contact. Not like nothing much is happening because it's still like such early stages with like this and the Olympics and stuff. But I know they're like pretty certain that it's going to be in the Olympics 2030, like freeriding. So they're pretty set on that. But yeah, just have like some initial contacts with like British Freeride Federation and stuff like that. There is actually a British Freeride thing, so yeah, which is surprising.
That's cool, man. Do you think you'll still be around in 5 years for that, or
Yeah, I
five or
don't
six
know.
years, or whatever it
I,
is?
I
We'll
hope
see.
so. I hope so. You never know. Like it's obviously like it would be insane to be in the Olympics. Like that would be a pretty cool thing. Like I would love to experience it, but you never know what happens. I'm gonna try like maintain my body and hopefully I can still compete. We'll see what happens. I've been crashing a lot lately, so hopefully I can stop crashing.
Fair enough. All right. So I want to ask you a little bit about that. So you've been on the tour. You've been part of the Freeride Roll for tour for a few years. A couple of years ago, 2022, there was a pretty wild battle between you, Blake, and Camille Armand. We didn't know who was going to take the title that year. It was a pretty exciting, comp to comp. And then 2023, I think did you break your hand?
I broke my ankle. Yeah.
Is your ankle? Yeah, right. And then he didn't make the cut last year, but then they were like, "Hey, this guy's a free ride guy. Like he deserves to be here. He got a wild card this season, and you started it off with a bang." I'll talk to you about kind of what happened. Actually, we'll get to that in a second. I want to ask you, like, so having a year off, what did that do to like your mindset? Did it make you like miss it so that you needed to come back? Were you happy with the break? Like what went on with you last year? What did you do with yourself?
Yeah, like honestly, I don't know, because I had pretty bad comp period last year actually, and then I was kind of over it, and I was like, oh, maybe like it's time for me to just like focus on something else. Maybe I'd love to like try to film or something. So I kind of like had like already like moved on and like, oh, maybe my tour like career is over. So I was pretty like I felt pretty good, but then I got the wild card, and I was like, I don't know. And then I was just like so stoked they even like thought about me. So I was like, I don't know. I just like felt like so honored. So I was like, all right, like, now I'm like, I'm stoked again.
Yeah, it's
like,
it's interesting how that goes, right? A lot of times people will miss the cut and they'll be like, "All right, I need to get back into the qualifiers or the challengers." And sometimes you're like, "I'm cool with it." But it's everybody's a little different, which is interesting. You said you took some time off. I know I saw that film that you guys did with Stellar, where you guys are cruising around Greece, which I thought was really cool. What was the name of that again?
they're the five lucky bastards. It was called. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. With my buddy Jordy Kidner was in that.
Yeah,
That was a
exactly.
cool film. Where you just kind of like go skiing in Greece, and they had the local tour guide there.
Yeah, I was like, because obviously I live in Greece, and I was talking to one of my Greek like friends, and he's just like telling me about like all the mountains and like how good the snow was, and I was like, there's no way, like I've never even heard about it. And then he was like showing me all these pictures. I was like, what the hell? It looks like really really good. And then like he was like into sailing and stuff, and he was like, oh, we could like sail like along the coast and like tick off all these mountains along the way. And I was like, this sounds like the most like insane thing ever. So yeah, we pitched it to Stellar, and they got in on it, and then we like booked in a week. It could be like super sketchy with the snow in Greece, like if it's gonna be good or not. So we got so lucky. It was the best week of like the whole season. We timed in somehow. It was it was so good.
Really hit or miss, hey? Really
Yeah,
hit or
it could.
miss.
Yes.
I would assume so. But yeah, it was
Mm,
cool. I highly suggest anybody that hears this go watch it. It's a fun little watch. All right, so now you're back on the FWT. We start off last week in Bikira on a face that nobody's ridden before, and you had a pretty good start to your run. I want you to kind of walk me through your run, top section, middle section, and what happened at the bottom.
yeah. Okay. So yeah, the conditions were pretty sketchy. Like, I don't know if people could even like hear or see it, but it was pretty tough out there. Like super icy, like variable. Like it's probably some of the toughest conditions I've like competed on, I reckon. But yeah, I saw this like little kind of roller thing, and I was like, oof, that would be like so nice for like a back three. So I just, yeah, there was like a little cliff on top, so I just wanted to survive that. It was like super like bouncy, and like it was like even like I was even scared to do that part. So I got down that one, and then I really want to go like full speed and get like a nice floaty back three, because yeah, it would just look super fun. But then it was just like I thought it would be like super, like a long, like gradual, like takeoff, but it was like a bit more punchy than I imagined. It was like really icy, so I kind of like popped off really weird and over rotated, and yeah, dragged my face in the ice for like 10 meters, so not ideal.
Oh.
And then by that point, I was like, oh shit, my run's pretty done. I was just gonna cruise down. I was just gonna do like a big backy, like with a lot of speed on that windlet.
Yeah, okay, so that's why I wanted to get into this here. So there's you did this massive double backflip at the bottom. Walk us through what happened there.
Yeah, so I was pretty off it already. I was like, oh, I'll just go do like a big backy, kind of nice to just finish it on that way. So I was heading towards this windlip, and it was so hard to see in the photos, like with the shadows and stuff, like how like lippy it was. But I just kind of went straight into it, and then I was like, oh crap, like it's like pretty much just like a straight wall. So it kind of just like launched me straight up, and I tried to just hang it out. But as soon as I was in there, I was like, oh shit, I got to tuck for double for sure. So I knew as soon as I hit the wall, I was like, oh, okay, I have to go for double. And I just meatballed around the second flip and got to my feet, but I couldn't save it, sadly.
That was amazing. So we were talking about that on air, and Derek said he was talking to you, like you planned for a single and then realized like, oh, I got to double this out. And he's like looking back at it, like watching it again. He laid it out real nice and was like, oh, I better tuck this up so I can get around again.
Yeah,
and that would have been
split decision.
Spectacular. I thought it looked pretty awesome. That's one of the things that I think is the signature of your riding. It's just big tricks. Float, like you can go big, and you have the power to do it, you have the speed to do it, and you have the air awareness to do it. And like the air awareness just in that, to realize halfway through, like, oh, this is bigger than I expected, and then try to bring it around, I think is pretty awesome. So now you've got one under your belt, you're back into it. How are you feeling going into Val Thorens this week?
Yeah, I feel good. The forecast looks really good, so I mean, I'm praying we finally get some power for a comp, but don't want to jinx it. But no, I'm feeling good. Like got the big crash out of the way, and I still want to go. Like I'm like, I don't know, this season I just want to go super hard, and I mean, we got 5 chances, so hopefully I could put one down. That's basically my mentality for this season. We'll see.
Yeah, because there's five before the cut this year, which is great because it gives other riders a little bit more opportunity to
super nice.
not get overwhelmed if they didn't have like a good run off the first run. So let me ask you a question. So back when you were competing and you were, back and forth, who was going to take the title in 2022? Do you ever go back and watch those competitions and try and put yourself in the mindset then and then transfer that to now? Because right then you were on fire. You were firing. You felt great. And do you ever go and try and take that mindset and put it in your head so you have that kind of focus versus, a comp that you just crashed and you kind of want to eliminate that mindset? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't really like rewatch it, but I think about it like a lot, like how I'm trying to like figure out how I was like mindset wise, and I don't know. I just can't even. Yeah, it feels like a lifetime ago, so I don't even know. I'm trying to like figure out how I scope my lines and stuff like that. Because now I don't know, I've got like such a bad streak of like crashes now, so I'm kind of like messed up in the head. So I'm trying to just like, okay, what did I do good before? But I don't know. That's the beauty of freeriding. It's such a difficult. All the odds are like stacked against you. So I don't know. It's a tricky sport.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, I am looking forward to seeing what you do next week, and I hope you throw down and put down a good run to your feet and get back on the train here, man.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, I know it's getting late there, and you're having a glass of vino at the restaurant, so I'll let you get to it, man. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
And
thanks for having me.
Val Thorens.
Cheers. Speak soon. See ya.